editor with Variety, and it's my absolute delight for this afternoon's panel, Half Hour with Quibi and Nikki Fre. First of all, we have Nicole Richie, who is an actor and executive producer on the show. She's also a creative director, actress, writer, producer, and philanthropist. Hi, Nicole.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us. And Carrie Franklin, who is executive producer. She's an Emmy-nominated exec producer, writer, and showrunner whose credits include Project Runway, The Girls Next Door, Kimura Life in the Fab Lane, and I'm so delighted to welcome you both to talk about your Quibi series, Nikki Fre. How are you both this afternoon?
Great.
I'm doing good. This is, Carrie, this is our first on-camera interview together.
I know, it's exciting.
I was very excited about it today.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh, well, it's our honor to have you here. Before we get talking, let's just show a clip from the series, and this is from the first episode of Nikki Fre.
I understand you want to make an album, but it's like, you know, $1 million budget to make a trap. To get a real producers, the album, the videos, the marketing.
Yeah, you get it. You get it. We want it to be big and expensive. Yes.
Yeah.
And you're gonna rap?
Yeah.
It's ambitious.
Listen, I want it to happen.
Me too. Oh my God.
I have to think about how we can do it.
So, do we have a deal?
Yes, Nicole.
Yes?
My name is Nikki Fre. It was nice to meet you guys.
It's such a brilliant moment, but we'll talk about that in a second. But first of all, what was it like to launch a series during a pandemic?
I really do. I mean, this show is about connecting to the earth and connecting to nature. And I actually found it to be a very appropriate time to do so. This is just, you know, this is towards the beginning, and, you know, there was shortage of food in grocery stores, shortage of produce. And, you know, the idea of learning how to grow your own food, you know, is something that I feel is always relevant, you know, but I definitely felt like it was an appropriate time to even throw that idea out to people. So, you know, I landed that I was very excited about it. And I felt that, you know, it gave me a whole new way to look at the show, and also even in real time, you know, learning about myself and like, you know, just like, oh, how am I am I really saving? Am I being wasteful in certain areas? Like, I think, you know, regardless of what you know, the level in which we feel connected to the earth, or if we recycle or whatever, I think that like one thing is that we, you know, we all are noticing patterns within ourselves, you know, and so like that was really that was really interesting too, you know, for me to challenge myself and be like, okay, I made a show about these topics that I care about, and like, am I, you know, yes, I'm living that way, but like in what areas can I improve and, you know, even do more? And hopefully, you know, that's what people left asking themselves also.
Yeah. What about you, Carrie?
I feel the same way. I feel like after we had done this show about raising people's consciousness and having them rethink their relationship to Mother Earth, for it to launch at this moment actually felt appropriate.
Yeah. So how did the whole idea for Nikki Fre come about, Nicole? Like, take us back to the beginning, because there's so many like great ideas that's about like saving bees, you know, food waste, and especially like in this time that we're at, you know, like you were just saying. So yeah, talk about how it all began.
So I'll back up for a second and say I started working on an edible garden about 7 or 8 years ago, and I was also shooting a show called Candidly Nicole, and Carrie Franklin was the showrunner and produced on the show. And so, you know, we had worked together, and actually through some of the episodes, I ended up meeting people that would be a part of my real life. For example, I met my beekeepers on Candidly Nicole. That was somebody that, you know, we were talking about the idea, but, you know, then I met them and they became people that are in my everyday life. And, you know, just getting, I don't think I had chickens when we shot the episode that I had chickens. Like, I didn't actually have them yet. And so it was this kind of like, we were doing this show that was kind of like bleeding into my real life. And I just, you know, became even more, even more like into my garden, being outside, being at one with nature. And I wanted to do a comedy album, around that. And so I actually had spoken to Joel about it, but, you know, we're home and, you know, it's just not always taken so seriously when you are at home. So I called his office, I set an appointment, and I really did go into his office. That first scene that we just saw is based off of something that really did happen. So I really did go into his office. It was a few more guys than there are in the scene, but it was me, all guys. I read a Rupi Kaur poem, The Sun and Her Flowers, and talked to them about the album that I wanted to do. So we were going to do that. So then at the same time, Carrie and I went in and we had a general with Quibi, and, you know, just got to understand what the app was about and, you know, what kind of programming they were launching. And we had, you know, we had done Candidly Nicole, and I was familiar with doing 5-minute episodes, short length episodes. That's something that Carrie and I have already done. So we had a few ideas, but after we met with Quibi, I would say, like, we were both like, I was very passionate about the fact that I wanted to base it. I was like, let's write a show around this character that is Nikki Fre. Like, who is she? So let's create a show around this instead of just putting out the album and being like, oh, I have a new name and this is what it is. Like let's create some backstory around Nikki Fre. You know, who is she? How does she differentiate from myself? Does she really? Is it all in my head? Am I going crazy? You know, so that was just something that we wanted to address and do, and that's how I came up with it.
And it's such a great, I mean, it's great. I love it. And that scene that we saw and you were talking about, what was that like to just be in a room with Joel and all those other men, like pitching, you know, the album idea?
In real life or on the show?
Oh, let's go for in real life.
In real life, he had known about it a little bit, but yes, for sure. Like, when you are in a room and like, it's like 2 p.m. on a Wednesday and people like took time out of their workday to sit with you, like, it definitely becomes real, where I was like, ooh, okay, I better believe in what I'm saying. But I was very excited about it, and I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. So, you know, it was fun enough that I wanted to do it all over again and film it for the show.
So, Carrie, do you and Nicole, you know, you've worked together on several projects. Do you have a shorthand now of how you both work when you're on set?
Yes, we can speak telepathically. It's true. Like,
sometimes there are no words.
There are no words.
Or just looks.
It's true. I can tell by her looks what she's thinking, and then I can respond on it. Like, it's
and I understand your response.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's something we've always had, even early days of Candidly Nicole, you know, the moment I'm thinking about. Before we were still learning who the other one was, and we were still figuring out who we were in conversations, we would be able to still communicate like telepathically. It's a very like intuitive, lucky thing to have with the talent when you're a producer.
Yeah. And Jared, your assistant, is so great. Like, was he game to be on camera? Because it's fine that, you know, you've come up with this idea, but was he willing to be like...
Jared is an actor. He's not my assistant. I actually don't have an assistant. So Jared did Jack's find Jared, or did
Yeah.
you find him?
Jax, the production company that we were working with, found Jared, and we had a meeting, Nicole and Jared and I, and they hit it off. It was great.
Yeah, we had done. He had done some stand up, and I watched that, and he was just so funny. And like, I just think, I mean, yes, down to do whatever we were pitching, but also just so great at improv and just like the best addition to the show for sure.
We got so lucky.
Yeah.
He's so great. Okay. And then in episode 2, you have Bill Nye. I mean, you know, if you're going to have a guest, Bill Nye, right?
No, I came strong. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, totally. Like, so what was it like working with him and having him on the show?
I was very starstruck when I saw him. I will never forget it. It was very windy that day, and we were all sitting in our cars at the beekeeper's farm, and he walked in, and I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Bill Nye is here! Wow, wow, wow!" And he was friendly. He also kind of reminds me of my dad a little bit in that, like, he's just like, when he's there, like, he's just down to like be professional and be there and like come with the jokes and the puns and like all of it. And, you know, another thing I really do love about him is he really is passionate about making science interesting. And like, you know, he really does love bees, and he, you know, he understands that, like, you know, we're all just trying to make it fun and interesting so people will even pay attention to to this massive bee crisis. So he was definitely down and game for all of it.
Brilliant. So we now have another clip from the series. So let's show that.
We're the garden we grow, in the garden we flow, trying to save Mother Earth, the only home that we know. It lives inside everyone, from the sea to the sun, and our work's never done. We're the garden, we're one.
Yay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I love it. The music, every episode ends with a music video, and Drip Drip is a music video, which is kind of like a love story between you and water. Like, talk about where the ideas come from for the music videos, and of course the songwriting process.
So I would say, well, Joel and I wrote Drip Drip together. And then the others, the other songs on the album were written Joel and I, and then also Sarah Hudson. Sarah is a friend of mine, and I love her songwriting and her work. And I didn't even know if she would, want to do this with me, and she did. And I was so thankful because she's like of the same mindset too. She also loves crystals and growing her own. And it was really great. It was really great to work with her. And then the idea for the music video, Carrie and I don't really have any boundaries when it comes to times. I would say that we email each other ideas. They just kind of happen. And I believe it was like a very late at night or very early in the morning where I was like, I see a wedding, and we throw out ideas. Carrie and I throw out ideas for things that don't even exist yet. Like, we're like, one day when we make a horror movie, we're going to do this, so we just say things, and then like we say everything. And then if it feels like it could happen, we'll go and flesh that out.
That's right. It just naturally manifests, like, the harder we laugh about it and the more crazy it seems.
Yeah.
Aside from Joel, did you work with any other songwriters or producers that might surprise the viewers?
Sarah Hudson, no, just Sarah and Joel.
Yeah.
And myself.
Amazing. Well, as soon as I heard the songs, I was obsessed with them. The videos are incredible. But is it important to distinguish that you're not making fun of the things that Nikki Fre raps about and the issues that, you're serious about them?
Nothing that I am rapping about is anything that I don't personally partake in. Yeah. So everything I'm talking about is actually are things that I'm very much involved with.
Talk about how you wanted to present it, because LA culture's presented on Nikki Fre so differently to the way it was going back to like Candidly Nicole or even The Simple Life. So why did you choose to present it this way?
Well, Simple Life was actually, it was the idea was to take us out of LA and actually live other people's lives. So it, I think, more left it open to the viewers of like Beverly Hills girls, you know, and that, I mean, that was just something I was more like cast in, essentially, you know, like they had the idea for a Green Acres type of show. And so it, you know, they just plugged it in like Beverly Hills, not Beverly Hills, you know, call it. I'm from LA, so, you know, I obviously see it in a very different way. This is a part of LA that I love. Like, I think that that's, you know, I've said it so much, especially during this moment. I'm like, I'm so lucky that I live in California, you know, and like all that brings. And, you know, it's because I'm from here that I've had the, you know, that I do have the luxury of having sun all the time and, you know, being able to go outside and connect to my garden and try growing different foods, you know, and like, you can take what you want from it, but like, I'm still from here and I really love it. So it's just, you know, more a tribute to, you know, yet another layer of Los Angeles that I love so much.
Yeah. And this is a question from the audience. What was the biggest highlight from the first season and why? Let's start with you, Carrie.
I think it was the music videos. I fell so in love with the episodes, but you know, that's what Nicole and me and the writers had done. I had nothing to do with the songs and I knew that they were good, but when the music videos got shot and they came together, it elevated the entire series. And I was also, I've said this to Nicole before, I was surprised at how good they were. Like, I understand that Nicole comes from a line of very important musicians, but I had no idea they were going to be songs that I was putting on my gym mixes. You know what I mean? Like, I was working out to them, just like, and my girlfriends and I were like, these are legitimately great. And the purpose of what she had originally set out to do, which was incept the audience with like these really high concepts about making a better relationship with yourself and the environment, were working, because now I was listening to these songs. I'm like, yeah, I am going to start gardening. I am going to start recycling even, you know, and being more conscious. I already recycled, but like being more conscious about my own relationship to the environment. So it just, the music for me just it took the whole series to another level.
I know the music stands so great, like independently of the series. Like I'm still listening to the you know, to the songs, and then occasionally I'll be like, oh, I'm on YouTube, let me like watch the video again. But how long did the videos take to produce, roughly?
Well, I mean, it was like, you know, I mean, we were just sometimes we were just shoot a little bit after we were shooting an episode. You know, we shoot a little bit here, we'd shoot a little bit here, because, you know, we were just trying to get as many locations as possible. And I mean, the videos are what, a minute long, you know? And I was like, I mean, for me, like, I grew up on Janet Jackson, watching Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation. Like, I wanted to have my own music video my entire life. So I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get this 1 minute again. So I need 7 outfit changes. I want 4 different locations. Like, so we were just, you know, we were like, how do we make that happen where like it looked, you know, we like wanted it to look big and visual and colorful. And that was something that was very important to me. Just throughout the show also, I wanted the juxtaposition of Nikki Fre's character, you know, to kind of always be in a gown, or, you know, just like that whole, you know, part of it, but also be in nature. And then I wanted the videos to, you know, really feel big. So, I mean, we had like fog machines in Gelson's in Calabasas, you know, and we were like, they're like, you know, we have 4 minutes to do this, like, go, you know, and like, and we didn't even have the song we were shooting that video to yet. I just knew that I wanted a fog machine and a grocery store. So I think, and I can only speak for myself, I don't know if Carrie agrees, but I do feel like we were trying to accomplish, we had like 5 things that we really wanted to do in this 6 minute, you know, or in these 6 minute episodes, and then include a music video and make it visual. We wanted the fashion to be over here, you know, so I think like from a producer's perspective, like we were talking to so many different people who weren't necessarily talking to, who weren't talking to each other. Like I was in the studio, with these like amazing producers and writers, while also doing the show, also working with the stylist, and then working with the music video director. And like, so having it all, so I think like when it does become so big, like you really don't know what it's going to end up like you just, hopefully are working with somebody that you trust, and, you just like blindly kind of dive in. And so like, I think once we saw it all like come together, it really was exciting, because it was like, it felt big, even though there were moments where like, it definitely, it was not shot like that. Like we were really just having to like grab footage wherever we could.
Like I was calling my friend Liesel in Calabasas, and we were shooting at her like turkey farm.
Yeah, we were like, can we borrow your turkey for 5 minutes? And the turkey was mad. Like there was just too many people around him. And, it was a lot of things.
Oh my gosh. I was going to say, like, what are some of the challenges of like, shooting an episode that's like 5 to 8 minutes? Because I think
what Nicole said. It's like we had Titanic level dreams and costumes for, a show that we knew would be on a phone. So I think it was an embarrassment of riches, which is like a great problem to have, but it was really hard to get what were essentially 15-minute episodes down to 5 minutes.
Yeah. So, we're talking, I've seen it, you've been in it. What would you say to people, for first timers, to get them to watch Nikki Fre?
What do you say, Carrie?
The costumes. It's not a wardrobe. It's a costume. Like, I love working on shows with Nicole, because they always end up being, out of all the shows they do, they're the shows that all my girlfriends want to talk about. And they're like, it's the funniest thing ever. And her eyelashes and her boots and that, they want to know every detail, So I feel like the costumes will get a lot of people in.
Do you have a favorite one, Carrie?
A favorite costume?
Yeah.
It's so difficult, but I honestly love the one she wears in High on Crystal. It's like this, like, it looks like what are the white crystals called, Nicole? They're like,
wait, like which costume? Which one?
Wearing a vanilla disco gown, but it looked like a vanilla crystal.
Oh yes, not the selenite wall.
Selenite wall, yes.
Yes.
But it looked like you were in a selenite dress, and her hair was very like 80s Xanadu, and I was just like, this is what I want to get married in, go to prom in, have a sweet 16 in. Like, it was everything.
Have a quarantine party in that.
Why not?
What about for you, Nicole?
Favorite moment?
What would you say to first timers to get them start watching the show?
It's 5 minutes of just like loving and connecting to Mother Earth, and then like a cute music video at the end and a new song. So like, what's the problem? And there's animals and bees.
True. It's 5 minutes of joy.
Yeah, it's just like a joy and appreciation for our Mother Earth with a music video at the end.
Great news. Second season has been announced, and congratulations on that. So now that you've got the second season, what did you learn from the first season that, from shooting that you're going to take into season 2?
We were having a conversation about the creative for season 2, and Nicole brought up a really good point that we need more animals for season 2.
Yeah.
We need more animals, and we need more science, and I think more hot scientists. I think that's what we learned.
Yeah.
So do you have any dream guests out there that you'd like to have in season 2? Let's just throw that out there, because you had Bill Nye in season 1.
I do have dreams, but I'm going to aim for them, so I don't want to jinx it. But yes, I do have some dreams in the Bill Nye world. Yes.
That was amazing. Well, congratulations on the first season, and congratulations on season 2. And if you haven't seen Nikki Fre, I suggest you've got to watch it. It's brilliant, the best entertainment. And thank you, Nicole. Thank you,